Nahabuju. Shkabe Sagassige gizes Ganinish Nikaz, Niwabashash Nodem, and the Shnabem Nandao. Over the last little while, probably within the last 30 years, there's been a major movement towards spirituality on a cultural, traditional sense. Within the great revival of awareness to us is language, communication to Creator, which is prayer, defined as, and song. The minute that we go back prior to the 1960s into the original teachings, where they were at one time regionally and they're tribed. And those midwinter ceremonies, those midsummer ceremonies, mid-fall ceremonies, midwinter ceremonies, mid-spring, they all have their original way. And we don't try to change those to benefit us. There's songs that are sung, there's prayers that are sung, there's foods that are offered, there's all these things that just were the automatic give me to the old people back when I was young. When you look at 4 basic medicines within the Longhouse Society and within the Anishinaabe Society, those 4 basic medicines are all the same, and they're all used for the same. But we know that if I'm an Anishinaabe, I don't go into Longhouse and say, oh, this is the way we do it, and you're doing it wrong. And vice versa. If Longhouse comes into Lodge, they don't come in and say, you're doing this wrong. If you go into the coniferous buildings of the Cree people, and you see them practicing their naturalism, you don't go in there and say you're doing that wrong. Because within the creation of humans, within the rainbow of man, there is no right or wrong way. Right or wrong comes from what they call the society of the ocean travelers, where they have that right or wrong belief. But what happens within the names, within the clans, within the nations of people, or within the languages, is that there's a lot of commonality. But within those commonalities, they have the origin of those commonalities. Why is it that Longhouse people walk one direction? And why is it that Anishinaabe people walk the other direction? Well, there's something very, very beautiful in that story. One walks with the spirit, and the other one walks within the physical. And we talk about love, respect, and generosity. The fire is a universal grandfather, a universal helper. The sacredness of that fire is the empowerment of that one coming from the sky. And whether it's your brother coming from the sky or whether it's your grandfather coming from the sky, you ask for that. The same thing is understanding the origins of physical water. We as keepers of the stories of that is that there's a story very similar within the Longhouse people to the Anishinaabe people and to the Cree people and to any other type of people within First Peoples descent in North America. So all those clan mothers and all those clan keepers and all those song keepers and all those ceremony keepers is that each tribe had responsibility. There was, in our tribes of people, there was people that had the songs that went with the tobacco. There was people that had the prayers or the communication that went with certain foods. There was clan grandmothers who had responsibilities to the clans. Those are their name keepers, name seekers. They had that responsibility. That was their education system. That was their responsibility, and that was a really, really big responsibility. Is that you remembered your family song, your clan song. You remembered the names. You remembered the responsibility as being what they call now as an auntie or an uncle, meaning a godparent. You always watched right from birth how that individual, how that each spirit was monitored. That was our safeguard to our naturalisms, and we never ever stepped out of bounds or out of the lines of tobacco or the colors to understand that. So within our own struggles of the world of today is that we're afraid to go ask, or we don't know how to go ask. And we see something, and the one holding the ceremony or the one giving the teaching, they say, you use that. But what they mean is, don't go host off your own ceremonies and say, I was given that. And that's how the old people talk. When they say use that, they mean use that for yourself. And learn that for yourself. And then maybe in 5 years' time or 10 years' time, when you see that person that gave that to you, then maybe they can back and explain that. So I just thought I'd share that with us in kindness today.